Ecuador is a country of such great diversity. Diversity of weather, people, attitudes. We have had so many adventures here. When Gary brought me out here, all there was jungle. And I said, Gary, what are you going to do here? How are you going to have a farm? And he said, you just wait. I can see it all. So Gary took me down way into the midst of all of these wild bushes. And he said, Mary, where should we build a distillery? And I kind of rolled my eyes around and just closed them and just pointed. And he said, okay. Well, he built a distillery exactly where I pointed. I was stunned at what he did. And it just gradually evolved into this amazing place in the middle of the jungle. And he had people come out of the woodwork who said, we don't want you here. We know you're just coming to see what you can get from us. One gentleman was very angry, and he raised his machete at Gary like he was coming after him, and Gary just looked at him and said, would you like a job? The next day he came ready to work, and he's the field manager now for Finca. The farm managers came up with the idea of producing a collection from each of their farms. And what we're doing here at Finca Botanica is introducing 2 oils that are brand new that they call Incan Melissa, which is very similar to the Melissa that we have, but it has its own distinct aroma specific to Ecuador. And there's a brand new one called Picotea, but it is also very different and very distinct in its aroma and its benefits. And then we're adding Palo Santo, which was the very first oil that Gary produced here in Ecuador. And then, of course, our wonderful ylang-ylang. I absolutely love the new oils. I hope that you'll all be as excited as I am to put these oils into your arsenal of what you use to make life happy. We love you all, and we look forward to seeing you, maybe, here at the Finca.
Hello, everyone. We are so excited to share with you a few surprises from Finca Botanica, Young Living's farm in Ecuador. I'm Jacob Young.
And I'm Chris Packer, Senior Director of Global Farm Labs and New Botanicals.
Chris has one of the coolest jobs at Young Living, which is to help identify new essential oils to add to Young Living's already impressive portfolio of products. First, I want to take a minute or two and tell you a little about how Chris got started with Young Living. In 2009, my dad asked Chris if he'd like to go to Ecuador and work on the farm. Chris was up to the challenge and quickly learned how to farm and distill aromatic plants, and worked his way up to the farm manager of Finca Botanica. I picked this photo to show all of you because I think it is funny that the 2 of them are in the middle of a field taking notes together, and, as you can all see, both Chris and my dad are left-handed. My dad also took Chris into the Amazon jungle to look for new exotic aromatic plants. When my dad decided to install a laboratory at the farm in Ecuador, Chris immediately took an interest in understanding how to analyze and study the chemical profile of essential oils. So my dad took Chris to France to learn how to operate lab instruments from the same person who taught him, Dr. Casabianca. Not long after that, Dr. Casabianca went to the Ecuador Farm Lab to further train Chris and help calibrate the new instruments. So now Chris sets up and oversees the analytical laboratories at our corporate farms and helps find new aromatic plants that may yield useful essential oils. In fact, one of the first projects that Chris worked on back in 2009 when he first moved to Ecuador involved new botanicals. Okay, back to why we are here today, which is to tell you about 2 new oils that Chris and his team have worked really hard to bring to you.
One of the things that I really love about both Ocotea and Picotea and what Young Living has done for the Ecuadorian jungle and the community is the fact that in order to harvest the trees, you don't cut down the tree. We only prune the top of the canopy, and it takes 6 months, less than 6 months for that to regrow. So we are actually protecting the forest because we're creating sustainable work for the local community, rather than them coming in and clear-cutting the forest for lumber or for cattle industry. They're actually taking care of these trees.
Wow, that's amazing, and it sounds like you have a very rewarding job.
Jacob, anytime that you're having a new plant that you've never grown before, and that's something so exciting and something that Gary loved doing, you're learning as you're going along. You don't know how much water it needs, what soil it needs, the correct fertilization. We had to learn as we were going on and learn as we were scaling up. So that was one of the main challenges
It's nice to see your hard work develop into something that other people can enjoy.
And at the farm in Ecuador, he was able, when he was clearing the land, he found an area where the Palo Santo naturally grew and designated it as the Palo Santo Forest. From that time, when we were going through and clearing all of the fields, we would take the Palo Santo tree from the field and transplant the little baby trees up there. And then after that, with many members, we planted another 5,000 trees to protect and conserve the Palo Santo.
I love that.
For years to come.
I love that story. And I also remember hearing that Palo Santo may be related to frankincense. Is that true?
Palo Santo is the cousin of frankincense.
I love it. Very cool. I remember my dad referenced Palo Santo as the frankincense of Ecuador, and it also happened to be the first tree that my dad distilled in Ecuador.
Yes, it's also referred to the frankincense of South America, Ecuador, and was very important to the native people.
Okay, last but not least, can you share with us a bit about Ecuadorian ylang-ylang?
Ecuadorian ylang-ylang. We have approximately 70,000 trees on the finca.
That's a lot of trees, and a big shout out to the hundreds, possibly thousands of Young Living brand partners who have helped plant so many of the ylang-ylang trees. I've also helped harvest the flowers, and it is quite labor intensive.
Our ylang-ylang flowers are harvested in the early morning by the hands of the women of Chongong. Each and every picker is responsible for their own area.
Dad always told me that Ecuadorian ylang-ylang was one of his personal favorites. Chris, I've heard that you and the team have learned a lot after distilling ylang-ylang for so many years. Can you touch up on that?
Throughout these years, Gary and the team and I have worked very hard on improving our efficiency. We're now able to get the same high-quality essential oils using less raw material.
That's amazing. So you've achieved the same exceptional quality while reducing your environmental impact. It sounds like things at the Finca are going smoothly.
It's a balance of beauty and efficiency. Gary was my mentor, and he instilled in me the importance and the passion of discovering new aromatic plants and bringing those oils to the world.
Great work, Chris. Thanks for helping make this happen.
It's been a lot of fun. And I hope to see you all very soon in Ecuador at the Finca Botanica farm.